I guess, substance of who we are as a community. Um, yeah, I'll just wrap this up quickly. So we have skill building that we focus on. We have learning how to learn, and basically we focus on problem solving. And basically we want to make every student go from passive learning to active mode, right? It's almost like switching the state of your brain. It's very different. In passive consumption, your brain works differently. So that's one of our visions, right? Every student has to turn into this active learning mode. And finally, it is also to build confidence and overall growth. If you see the kind of activities we have planned, it is not just very serious academics. I mean, if you're here for like extremely serious academics the way you're used to in your colleges, I mean, that's not exactly what you're going to find. We are trying to bring in overall growth. If you have an idea, you should have the ability to also present it. You should have the ability to communicate it with your team members and develop it. So, things like confidence, leadership qualities, and also how original is your thinking, critical thinking. So these are things we care about as well, and not just traditional information consumption. Okay, now how do we do it is kind of important. Peer-to-peer learning. I just want to say that the peer group that you guys have today with, I think, 82 people is going to be amazing. And this is a real problem we tried solving when Naxxatra was created. We were all students kind of isolated in our colleges, and we didn't have the peer group. We didn't have the quality peer group to work with and produce something or learn something together. But today you have an excellent opportunity to learn from each other. So I just want to really highlight this point, and I'm personally very excited about it. Mentorship, this is very important. Maybe you have college professors, all of us do, but a lot of times it is not, they are not mentors, right? They are just professors, they are lecturers. So here we try to build like a certain bond, a certain bridge between students and people who are academically successful or even successful in industry, right? So this is building bridges across institutional and geographic boundaries. And it doesn't matter where you come from, which college that you study in, what your grades are, whatever, right? We feel it is your right to have access to a good mentor who can tell you what to do. And finally, we believe in knowledge transfer and multidisciplinary learning. Okay. Now, this is slightly important here. Some of you guys are from top level colleges in this group. Some of you people are just starting off your undergraduate degrees. You're much younger, and you can see that we've not filtered through these different these diversities. So basically, please know that there's no hierarchical kind of system here, and we are all on the same platform. If you're in Naxxatra, you're on the same platform, and transferring knowledge matters more. It doesn't matter how good your college title is or whatever here. Everyone is the same. Everyone is trying to learn. Everyone is trying to learn something and become something better. So please feel free to come up and take up a leadership role. You can take the initiative to present something to the group. Don't shy, don't feel shy. We are very open to people interacting over here. So yeah, breaking rigid hierarchies and enabling high quality training for all is something else that we believe in. Okay, summer projects, I'll quickly go over this. Why we felt a real experience of working with a team and learning a topic in depth. That doesn't always happen in traditional education, where you work with a team and you're trying to tackle a problem. And we also felt we have to create a stepping stone for people who wish to pursue research, either in academia or industry. We know that a lot of you would love to enter industry as well. So we are going to also focus on skill sets that will help you there, and not just very rigid academia. And how do we do this? Well, we have connected a lot of curious minds on a single platform for real multidisciplinary collaboration. If some of you have seen the intros, you would have realized that some of them are from engineering, some of them are BSc, some of them are not even from STEM backgrounds, some of them are high school students or maybe 12th. And so it's a real mix of talents and skills and interests. So please try to leverage on these differences, because each person can contribute differently, and that can be very powerful. So yeah, focus on skills that will boost confidence for professional work is one more thing we wanted to do. So this is kind of the reason why we started our projects, our summer project. Okay, this is also something you should know. So over the next, I wanted to say that it is not 5 weeks, it is a 6-week program. Okay, you're going to enter week 0 tomorrow onwards, and we call it week 0 because it is an introduction week or an orientation week where you won't really have really tough problems or whatever. You will just try to learn as much as possible. It's like, catching up with the prerequisite. Okay. So after the end of week 0, your 5 weeks begin. Uh, I'll go into the weekly structure soon, but the point is we are going to be tracking your progress over these 6 weeks. Okay. And when we track your progress, we want to measure certain things. We want to understand how you're learning as an individual. So this is called rubrics. Some of you might know. So this is basically some of the relevant metrics: persistence and interest, ability to quickly learn new topics. This will be activity based, problem solving, through assignments. And we'll also try to gauge your research writing skills and ability to think critically about complex ideas with something called the weekly report. Okay, I'll quickly go into the project breakdown. Like I said, it is 6 weeks and not 5 weeks. So at week 0, this is where we are from tomorrow. It is just intro and preparation. And this is orientation and learning the fundamentals. Okay, you'll be given a set of things to learn, but if you feel you want to add to that, you want to work on something else, you're free to do that. Remember that the curriculum is very, very flexible. It's not like a course. Okay, so the curriculum is flexible, so feel free to do it along, depending on your level and skill set. Week 1 is foundation, where you'll developing subject-based intuition and familiarity. So you'll just start to work on the theoretical backgrounds required, or you start entering the topics in depth to understand them properly. And so therefore, till here, it is essentially studying. It's essentially learning and grasping as much as possible. But in week 2, we will try working backwards. We learn with the end in mind. So we'll start defining small goals, and using the goals, we'll start working backward. Okay, so kind of like small problems that we want to try on solving, and what is necessary for that, we will start learning. Week 3 is specialized learning, and then you start to think a little bit more deeply about a single problem, right? You start to specialize in something that you pick in the group. You start getting an individual role, and you start learning about it. The last 2 weeks are, for you to reflect about your own work, and maybe you have some really interesting ideas that you want to develop, or maybe you want to reflect back, work on it more, and document your progress. Okay, so we want you guys to come up with, like we had mentioned, a research article of sorts by the end of week 5. So yeah, and so that was the project breakdown. So coming to how a week would look, right? So how is your typical week? How does it look? So this is the weekly breakdown. So you have the LMS. That is where you access all the required. Just 1 minute. Where can I? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, on the LMS you have all the required study materials. You find it on the dashboard of your course, and then it is preferable to read them before the session. See, the discussions don't make sense if you don't have stuff to talk about, right? So although our sessions are mostly discussion, you need to be a little prepared before the discussion. So preferable to read a little bit, and then you will also need them for reference throughout the project. So mostly you will have reading material in the form of PDF. Some of you might have already explored it. Then you will have an activity. Every week you have an activity, maybe towards the end actually. And these are tasks mostly in the form of groups, and it will check your level, and it will also help you practice, but mostly it will help you kind of collaborate and create something interesting. Then you have assignments, which are individual. You'll find it on the LMS. These might be small problem statements or even just small conceptual questions. Make sure that your assignment submissions should be in your words. Don't copy from Wikipedia. We can find out. And if you see the rubrics, I'll just go back to this. If you see here, there are these attributes, right? This is just a template of how rubrics look. So we want to assess, in a very crude way. basic, intermediate, and advanced. At what level is your understanding? At what level is your performance? So these metrics that you see here, we will try assigning basic, intermediate, and advanced to each of this by the time the course is over. So please make sure that your submissions for the assignments are original in your own words. It doesn't matter. You can get really creative here with your assignments and also with your weekly report. Weekly report is just this, one-page summarization of everything you learned in the week. It can be, again, it can be very reflective. You can talk about how some perception of yours changed. You can talk about what you did with your peers. It doesn't have to be too technical. And you can also write down the stuff that you actually learned. You can add technical elements to it. So it's designed for you to reflect upon what is learned and kind of document it for your future reference. Okay. So I'll quickly conclude by talking about the project categories. I know all of you wanted to, I guess, this is the deal, right? So you guys have either applied for neutrinos, and I know the website said gamma rays. So one important thing I want to convey is that there has been a small modification. I hope you guys are paying attention. I don't know, this is okay, but this is kind of important. So please pay attention. If you're in the neutrinos group, nothing has changed for you. There will be a theory team and an experimental team later on. We'll talk about these divisions later. But essentially, you'll be working on astroparticle physics in general, but with a focus on neutrinos. Now, if you applied for the electromagnetic, basically for the gamma ray project, one thing has changed. About 6 to 8 of the people who've applied in this group, electromagnetic group, will be selected for a project not related to gamma rays. It is related to solar physics. Okay, that is why we have changed the title to electromagnetic radiation, because we are working on slightly different things. So you might know that we have one of our mentors who is Dr. Rakesh from Aries, Aryabhatta Research. So Aries is, I think, a really great place for a lot of observational projects, and he has something very special for you guys in solar physics. And yes, it is data driven, a little bit involved, it does involve a little bit of machine learning, but we feel that even if you don't know too much of it, we want to pick the people who can grasp it quickly. So no need to worry if you don't have like machine learning experience. We're just looking for people who have a little bit of programming background, a little bit of maybe skills with pandas and things like that with Python. So yeah, a small group will be working on solar physics and data-driven problems, and this will be under that particular mentor. Then the gamma ray theory group will still be focusing on gamma rays, right? And there might be further bifurcations here, where some people study the sources of gamma rays in the universe, and some people study the astrophysics of gamma ray bursts. Okay, so this is the general layout of the two categories. So the only change is we're calling it electromagnetic group, because one small section of them are going to be working on solar physics. So I hope I'm not bored you guys too much. I'll just take a pause here. Now I know that all of you here are very, like I said, diverse. So how do we study? What if we find a topic challenging? How do we go about it? How do we learn to work with someone who is 2-3 years senior to us, right? All of these questions must be there. So Vikrant here is leading our academic wing, and I would just like him to comment on this particular issue. So over to you, Vikrant.
Thank you, Sitara. Am I audible?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, you are audible.
Awesome. Thank you. So thanks for the introduction, and it was a very good motivation that you've set so far. And so I'll just, keep it short and be very, very specific here, and, sort of give an example for both the neutrino group and the EM group. So, I've read through the introductions we've seen on Discord. We have people from the IITs, the ICERs, and there are people based on the WhatsApp group from grade 12 or first year undergrad. So yeah, we do have a very diverse crowd, and it does pose a great question as to how exactly do we sit together and work on stuff where one knows a little more than the other, or maybe a bit more than the rest. So I'm going to pick very specific examples here. First, coming to the neutrino and the astroparticle physics group. One thing that is most obvious is you're going to study particles, and you might have heard from pop science talks that particles always move close to the velocity of light, which means we need to bring in Einstein's famed relativity in, which brings us to the field of relativistic kinematics to study how relativistic particles move. The name sounds heavy, but do not worry because it is not going to be that complicated. Here, we're going to try to switch to perspectives of a 12th grader first, and then an undergrad student, first, second, or third year, and let's say a master's level student. I myself am a master's level student, and I still find some topics mentioned in these projects a little difficult to follow. So I'm going to try to switch over to these three perspectives. For a 12th grader, relativistic kinematics is obviously from the first look a heavy subject because you have a lot of mathematics that comes in, four vectors and then dot products and so on and so forth. For those people, you need not worry about the complex mathematics that comes in, but what you can focus better on is the theoretical or the conceptual understanding of what exactly is going on right there. So if I tell that the particle, let's say the neutrino, is moving at a speed close to light, uh, what are its implications, right? There are several articles, several references that would be provided to you over the course where you can just read through stuff without involving yourself in a lot of mathematics. Now, when you switch this over to a perspective of an undergrad student, you're already familiar with some level of mathematics, like let's say matrices and determinants and so on. So there you can understand four vectors, dot products, vector products, blah, blah, blah. And that becomes easier for you to understand. You can pick up a little bit of math there, but for a master's level student, you are already familiar with kinematics, you already are familiar with special relativity, and in some cases there might be students who are also familiar with general relativity, a little more complex version of it. For you, mathematics is a plus point because you would be able to understand most of it, right? But here is where you can build up on is your conceptual understanding. So if we were to sort of break it down, we could say that a 12th grader focuses more on concepts, whereas a master's level student tries to help out with the math, and an undergrad benefits from both the groups. So in all, for a project group on neutrinos, you have this diversity that is spread out, and you can combine all of these together, where the 12th grader helps in understanding it conceptually, where a master's level or an undergrad student tries to help us understand the project either mathematically and a little bit conceptually. Now, the similar kind of scenario applies to the electromagnetic group, where let's say the most basic Maxwell's equations, right? Maxwell's equations involves a lot of vector calculus. You see curl, nabla symbols, inverted triangle, cross, and then you see E, B, mu naught, epsilon naught, a lot of fancy symbols there. Let that not intimidate you at all, because once you get into it, you will realize that it's not that complicated at all. It's just some symbols that you use in order to explain it to a crowd that does not understand plain English, right? I mean, the crowd of science is that such a crowd, right? And it sort of helps you realize how beautiful it looks when you try to put Maxwell's equations in the form that is prescribed. You can write it in a differential form, as you might have seen on famous Wikipedia pages, or you can write it in a differential form using the inverted triangle and so on. So it's not the mathematics that you need to worry about a lot during the course of this project. It's more about the conceptual understanding that you need to build up eventually. And this is something that we want to inculcate in all of you over the course of 6 weeks. And all the mentors that are present here, all the co-hosts that you see on this meeting, and a few more who could not be here today because of their other commitments, are always here to help you out with any sort of issue you have, be it mathematical, conceptual, or any other thing. Right? You'll be given a weekly schedule and so on and so forth. And with that, you'll have an idea as to what is going to happen the very next day. And I would like to emphasize on this point, self-study is of paramount importance. Like Sitara mentioned, the weekly schedule that you guys get will mention what topic are we going to do and what references we'll be using, be it a book, a paper, or anything for that matter. So it is highly recommended that you guys do go through everything that is mentioned, so that in the next day, whenever that topic is done, you are not left out. You don't feel left out, but you can participate actively in the discussion. And that's all I wanted to say. And with this, I think I'll pass on to the mentors of the two groups, the neutrino group and the electromagnetic group. Thank you.
Yeah, so just before we move on, I'll just want to add one point to that. So, like he said, self-study, right? So this is not a course. A lot of people came to us and they were like, "Oh, how long is this course? How many lectures will be there?" So, we hope that you're trying to or beginning to understand the structure of this. It is not meant to be like a 6 week filled with tens of lectures. It is meant for you to collaborate, meet people, and learn the process of tackling real problems, and learn the process of, say, going and finding the real material that's going to be important, and critically thinking about a very specific issue, right? Um, so therefore, it's going to be interactive, one. But secondly, if nobody knows the answer to something, maybe none of the mentors do, right? So it is absolutely your responsibility to go and try to find and hunt for the solution. This is a community which is largely student driven. So please know that nobody is better than anyone else. And if you have a question, you have as much right to go and answer it and hunt for the solution, even if none of the mentors are able to answer. So basically, the floor is open for you, and you don't have to look up to us or depend on us as sources of information or solutions. So please keep that in mind. So I'll just hand it over to Sagar. Sagar here joined us about a year ago, and he has really good leadership skills, and he's taken a lot of initiative in the organization. He handles a lot of the academic operations and projects over the last few months. So he'll be mostly dealing with the neutrinos group for the next couple of weeks, and he'll also be talking a little bit about the learning management system. Over to you, Sagar.
Hello everyone. So am I audible, Sarah?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So for everybody who are in the meeting, we'll be communicating in 3 different sites. One will be our Discord, that is the Discord channel, which everybody will be communicating. That will be our main source of communication. And another is the Zoom classes. Like if you have any special class, like if any guest lecture is, if a guest is doing a lecture, so in that cases we'll be doing in Zoom. And our third source will be the learning management system. The learning management system is our learn.naxxatra.com, that website. So many of you, I think, if you are enrolled, you can go to learn.naxxatra.com/courses. There you will be able to see 2 different courses. One is gamma ray, that is the electromagnetic waves, that thing. And we also have, yeah. So if you see, these are learning management system website, it's learn.naxxatra.com. So here we have 2 courses like neutrinos and gamma ray burst, so which are our main 2 courses now. So if you go to one of the course, then yeah, so you are in the neutrino course now. In this course, you have the Discord server classroom, our description, and what is our goal, and some information what we like to give. And we also have our, for neutrinos specifically, we have our sources, reference books, and it's all divided in categories in this folder. So in each folder, we have the reference material pertaining to that topic. And we also have, if you scroll down a little more, we have weekly breakdowns. And if you go to one of the assignments, you can see Introduction to Particle and Astroparticle Physics. That's a simple assignment which we are doing in week 1. So if you go in there, you will be able to submit a file, upload it, and then submit it. So here you can see these are one of the assignment. So you can go to the add submission, upload the file in PDF or doc or docs format. So that is how you will be uploading the files or documents. Even you can, if you have anything to say, you can enter in the text box and then submit. You can do all those stuff. And then we also have another thing, that is our weekly schedules. So even our weekly schedules will be shared through LMS. So under the particular week, we'll be sharing the weekly schedule. So here you can see for week 0, I've already shared the daily breakdown of week 0. So that PDF shows what will be our weekly structure will be. So if you know this much in learning management system, it's enough for now. And even me and Hardik will be explaining more about how we'll go through the week, everything in the Discord meetings, which will be happening from tomorrow. So this is our learning management system. So now I think Hardik will be showing about gamma ray burst or electromagnetic waves group. So Hardik, you can continue.
Yeah, thank you. So hey everyone, I'm Hardik Methi. Thank you so much for joining. So this is the LMS page for the gamma ray project, and so you can see the overview, and then there's a folder of books where each week we'll be uploading the relevant books. I have already uploaded some of the books which will be using most of the throughout the course, so you can just have a look at it. It's a complete book, so you can even use it for your future endeavors. And then on the general info, yeah, so the general information, it's a basic survey. So please fill it up, so that we can, get to know you better. And
Yeah, just 1 minute. Guys, this is mandatory, okay? General information. You just have to go here and answer a couple of questions. And remember that I said that we will be selecting about 5 to perhaps 8 participants for another solar physics project. So you have to answer the survey to be kind of be nominated, I guess. And it's just a bunch of questions about who you are, where you come from, and what are the subjects that you've studied. So please make sure you do that, preferably tonight or tomorrow.
And then, so the first week, I have already uploaded a very short tentative schedule. The detailed schedule will be uploaded later tonight or tomorrow morning. And then, so you can just have an idea what we'll be doing today, this week. And at the start of every week, you'll be getting the schedule for that week. So you can just go ahead and prepare. Also, the resources list will be given. As you can see there, the relevant books and articles for that week is uploaded in a PDF. So again, you can have some idea of where to just refer the information from. I have also uploaded like example assignment and example quiz. So that I think you can show them the demo of how to submit it. So you'll get the due date over here and then a time, and so you can just add submission, and then please remember that after you add the submission, you have to click the submit button to finish the submission. So that I can go for a quiz. So you'll be having both assignment and quiz. So this is just a demo quiz. Basically, you'll be allowed only one attempt. The quiz will open at that particular day, and maybe we'll keep like 1 day for the submission, and the time limit will be an hour. If you don't submit all the answers by within the time limit, then it will be automatically submitted. And so you can just answer this question. These are just basic questions. So there, after finish attempt, you'll have to click on that submit all and finish. Scroll down. Yeah, submit all and finish. And then you'll get your score sheet over here. Your grade, the correct answers, and we'll be also giving explanation for the answer. So if you got it wrong, then you'll know where you were wrong. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sagar and Hardik. So yeah, I hope everyone kind of have, you've developed an intuition for why the LMS is important. And basically, this is the first time we have introduced the rubric system, which is our way of tracking your progress. And we don't, although the assignments might involve grades, your final certificate will not carry any number because we don't really want to give marks, but we will try to assess your level of understanding and level of competence for the particular subject. That's the only thing we will try to gauge. And I think this will really help people who are motivated, because for those of you who qualify under intermediate or advanced understanding of a concept, we can help you with getting a detailed list of your personal rubrics and maybe a reference letter if required. So I think it will really help people who are motivated. And yeah, we'll just have 10 more minutes. We wanted to keep this session very short because, it's just an introduction, but maybe some of you have questions or would like to introduce yourselves or talk about anything. So we are open for that. Before that, like Sagar said, Discord is a really, really important tool for our communication over the next 6 weeks. So if you're not on it, I'm going to put the link on the chat now. Actually, if one of you have the link ready, please put it. Otherwise, I'll try. Okay, found it.
Yeah, I have it ready. Let me put it now.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Sagar. So yeah, he'll put it for you now, and that link is important. Now, Sagar, can you put both links? There. Okay, let me explain this. There is one server called Virtual Campus. Okay, so that's like an open community. You'll find some 700 odd people there, and that's where our clubs are. Okay, so there are a lot of student clubs on that particular server. There are free projects. There are open discussions and club events and outreach events. All of that happens in the campus server. Now there is a server called Classroom, Naxxatra Classroom Plus. So that is where all of you who are part of certification projects or you're part of this structured program, you will be in the classroom. So just note that, because our communication is going to be through the classroom, but it's preferable that you're on both servers. Okay, so just join both the servers. More of the outreach programs happen on the virtual campus, whereas important sessions as part of your project will happen on the classroom server. Okay, so I hope you've joined both. If there are some people here who've never used Discord, please please write to us on WhatsApp maybe, or send a message now itself on the chat box. I can spare 5-10 minutes to give you a tour of Discord if necessary, but just put it on the chat box immediately if you just have no idea how Discord works. Okay, coming to our team, I think this is important. So there are about 10 of us who put together this structure. Of course, you'll have more mentors and guest lecturers. They are not included in this list. So this is a bunch of us who've really spent time kind of thinking about what are the important attributes of this project. So there is Sitara, that's me. Vikrant, who I introduced, was the academic lead. Jeevan here, you can see him on the participants list. He heads the computer science wing of Naxxatra, and he's also the developer. And Sagar will be heading the neutrinos group. Hardik will be heading gamma ray group. Adesh, Ashwin, Jishnu, Sasi, and Samriddhi will all be there to help out and to communicate, and they'll all behave as cohort leaders. Okay. I mean, of course, there will be leaders amongst you as well. We'll come to all of that, once there is more team division and things like that in the second week. So we don't want to confuse you too much. So if you have an issue, you can always tag core team or admin, and we will get back to you immediately on the server. Most of us will be online all the time. So yeah, please. Okay, there's one person who says I'm new to Discord. If there's anyone else, I will give you 1 minute time. Please put it on the chat box.
हम बना 3 वोट मिल गए हैं डेमोक्रेसी के हिसाब से देखा जाए तो ज्यादा
Okay. Is there anyone else who? Okay, there are 2, 3 people, I guess. Okay, maybe it's a good idea actually to talk about the functions of different channels. So let me quickly do that. We have perhaps 5 minutes time. Give me a minute. Okay, yeah, sorry for the delay. So I'm just sharing my screen now, and you should be able to see Discord. Okay, so this is welcome to Naxxatra Classroom. This is your server where you'll be doing the project and documenting links and whatever, all discussions happen here. So if you go, you'll see like basic rules. So on the left side, these are called channels. There are categories. Under each categories, there are channels. Okay. So welcome has all the people who are coming in. Then announcements is really important. Anything new that happens or whatever, all announcements are going to be put here. This server already has some previous information. You can actually, you might find it interesting, scroll back and look into it. There are some recordings from our previous courses, like I said, Equinox that happened last year. So you'll find a lot of such recordings, some of our YouTube videos and resources from our mentors, a lot of interesting stuff. You'll also find something called moments from classrooms. So this is, we'll be capturing different moments from the upcoming projects, different people teaching, students doing seminars, mentors giving talks, all of this. We'll just try to capture certain moments and record them here. And there have been a lot of interesting sessions. So this is something you can explore as well. Okay, now I'm going to scroll through. Anyway, so in text channels, you have launch, which is where it's a common, I guess, common hall, if you will, and you just have to use this for communication with the entire cohort this year. And okay, coming to journal club. A journal club is something that we really encourage, and we will have within the weekly schedule 1 day dedicated to journal club. So as you begin to go into week 1 or week 2, you will also start reading, other than textbooks, you will also start reading scientific papers or reference papers, whatever it is, maybe review papers. So whatever you read and you find interesting, you have to come to the journal club and put the link and write a small description of what you have read. So this can include whatever kind of resources. But for example, it should include like a particular description of something interesting that you have read. Okay. So this is something we really encourage you all to do, and we'll also have a Zoom meeting dedicated to this where different people present what they have studied over the week from scientific papers or articles or even textbooks. Okay, then you have the summer project track. For now, there are no further divisions. Neutrino group, please communicate on your channel. Gamma rays, please communicate on your channel. We will let you know when further bifurcations happen. You don't have to worry till then. If you scroll down, there are voice channels. So if you're in the neutrino group, all you have to do is click and you will enter the voice channel. So you're part of a voice room and you'll automatically be connected to people over there. So people who are new, please figure this out, get used to the server. Don't want to take any more of your time. And we'll start more conference rooms for you guys to hold meetings, and you can obviously organize your own meetings whenever you would like. Okay, the floor is now open for any questions. Anyone who wants to comment on anything, ask anything, or just introduce themselves. Would love to get to know you all. Thank you so much for your patience today.
Hi, my name is Tanay. I registered for the Gamma Ray program,
Okay.
but right now I just saw the neutrinos program, the resources that were available. So is it just possible? I saw like it was mentioned Feynman diagrams and everything, and I'm interested in learning that as well. So is it just possible to share those resources?
Oh,
Like
okay.
I'm not part of that program.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not a problem. If you really want the resources, that shouldn't be a problem. We can just enroll you, but yeah, you won't be considered a participant. We can do that.
Yeah,
Not a
yeah,
problem.
that is not. I just want the resources because I'm already part of the Gamma Ray program.
Okay, no problem, no problem. We can give you access to that. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
yeah. Any other questions, guys? Okay, I think some people had problems with seeing resources. I hope all that is solved.
Siddhartha, someone is asking about timings in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, I didn't cover that. Yeah, so there are two teams. How many of you have enrolled for both projects? Please say yes on chat. If you've enrolled for both projects, please say yes. Okay, one. Anyone else? Yeah, or you could just raise your hands as
Hey,
well.
Siddhar, I'm sorry, my network got connected. What's the question?
Yeah, the question is how many of you enrolled for both projects?
Oh, okay.
Is there anyone in the participants who enrolled for both? Um, okay, I think it's only one. I don't see anyone else saying yes on chat. Okay, so if it's just one, please get in touch with me. I think, what is their name? I think Stephen. So please get in touch with me and we'll try to figure this out. I know it. I mean, if you saw the weekly schedule, you'll see that the expectations we have is fairly high in terms of just work output or just your dedication or giving 1 hour per day. But if obviously you can attend the session, not a problem. So what we've done is 6:30 to 7:30. We will have every day neutrino group meeting. 7:30 to 8:30 we will have electromagnetic group meeting. Okay, so on the, I mean, if anyone has an issue with this, please come back to us on the server, on the Discord server, because you can just put it on the launch or something if you have a problem. But this is going to be the structure for this week, and we'll experiment with it. If it's not working out, we'll try to keep it at the same time, or maybe just change the timings. Okay, so once again, neutrinos 6:30 to 7:30, electromagnetic group 7:30 to 8:30 for this week. Yeah, and this just basically includes the evening sessions till Friday. Okay, and last thing is on Saturday, there is a talk. So there is a talk by Rakesh sir. So those of you who want to enter solar physics, you are interested in data-driven astronomy or data-driven astrophysics, and all of that, you can attend. Even otherwise, we encourage all of you to please attend that session because we are not giving meeting access to anybody else outside this cohort. So anyone else outside this cohort has to watch it on YouTube or whatever. But for you guys, you can join and interact with them directly. So don't miss out. Just make sure you join the solar physics talk on Saturday evening at 7 p.m. Okay, can I change my group?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Aishwarya. I'm in the Neutrino group. I had a question.
Hi, Ashwarya. Tell me.
I can already see an assignment in the Neutrino course. I can already see an assignment. Are we supposed to start attempting it like now, or should we wait till tomorrow's meeting?
Yeah, Sagar, would you like to take that?
That is just for demo. For demo, how to show, just to show how the assignment will look and how to submit, I created that. That's just a demo.
Okay. Thank you.
So Sagar will add another assignment. Okay, so you don't have to attempt that. You have to focus on the study material of day 1, day 2. Assignments usually come towards end of the week by Thursday, right? And group activity will also usually come by Thursday, Friday. So yeah, first 2-3 days will mostly be studying and perhaps a quiz. Okay.
So Tara, there's a few questions in the chat box you'd like to address.
Yeah. Can I change my group from Neutrino? Okay. Can I get enrolled for Gamma once I'm done with Neutrino? Okay. I'll answer the second one first. Can I get enrolled for Gamma project once I'm done with Neutrino? We have, like you must have noticed, we have seasonal, I guess, programs. But what we're doing this time is we are tomorrow or perhaps this week, we are already opening enrollments for autumn. So autumn is July, August, and beginning of September perhaps, but mostly July, August. So you'll be able to enroll for July, August programs this week, and you'll be put on the list, right? So when the project gets defined, when mentors are added to it, you'll get a confirmation mail. So that is something you can do. So you can finish Gamma Ray project now, and then you can I guess you are done in okay, you're doing Neutrino, right? So you can finish Neutrino now, and we'll be launching a course most probably related to gamma rays. So that's something you can attend afterwards. But like I said, there is somebody else who's doing both projects. If you have enough time on your hands, that is something you can do now. I heard that LaTeX course is free for people who enrolled. Can you elaborate? By the, let me just check my calendar. One sec. So by 12th of June, the LaTeX program begins. That means you will be enrolled into an other course on the LMS called LaTeX and research writing. Okay. Once you get in, all 80 of you will be enrolled there. So you will start to see some resources over there. And then we'll start including 1 or 2 sessions every week to teach you research writing and LaTeX. That will be part of the project, but it is actually an exclusive course we are giving for free. And other people who want to join, who are not part of the project, will also be able to join that course. Any rough estimate on how much time should be given? 1.5 hours, about 45 to 50 minutes for discussion. Plus, I would recommend 1 hour of reading. So you can say 2 hours per day, 1 hour for discussion and 1 hour for self-study. Okay, it depends on you, but I'm averaging it out to 1.5. If you want to include and you really want to prepare for the discussion, I recommend 1 hour of studying. So roughly 1.5 to 2 hours. Recording link. Recording. Who asked about recording? Where will the meetings? Yeah. So, okay. If you missed a lecture, remember that the discussions need not be recorded. They're going to happen on Discord. Okay. Starting tomorrow, everyday discussions happen on Discord unless we say otherwise. For example, I think in the Neutrino group Tuesday, somebody will give a presentation. So that will happen on Zoom. Certain things that need to be recorded will happen on Zoom. The YouTube link will be created immediately and it will be put into your element. It will also be put on Discord for easy access, so you don't have to worry about that. Can I change my group from Neutrino group? Well, actually, yeah, I think Anunai has asked this. We do have a higher strength in the Neutrino group. So if you want like a last minute change, it's possible till tomorrow. But yeah, don't delay further. You can't do it after the discussions begin. You have to let us know by today. Okay. What if someone was just interested in data-driven part of the ER project, not much in theoretical or experimental part? No problem. That was my point. You are going to get selected once you get into the data-driven group. You're only part of the data-driven group. Okay. So there are other teams that will do theory and experimental. Okay. What if the student enrolled in Gamma Ray has interest in solar physics but have less experience on coding and not a basic knowledge of ML? Okay, so I understand that it can be quite, yeah, see, you need at least a little bit of experience in accessing files, opening data, working with data sets. And although we're introducing refreshers in Python and Pandas in the first week, there's only so much we can do, right? We are not a course for teaching you programming. On that note, our Python programming batch is also starting in July. That'll be open on the LMS. So this is something you can learn after the project. So we highly recommend that you get 2-3 months of experience. It doesn't take more than that. You can quickly grasp programming and some basic libraries in just about 2 to 3 months. And yeah, we are there for supporting you for that, and I'm sure we'll be able to connect you with other project mentors after that. So please don't rush. All of this can seem exciting, but it takes a lot of work and a lot of persistence. So don't rush into something you don't know about entirely. Okay, on what basis is really simple. We are looking for people who have who just have basic physics knowledge, undergrad level, and have worked with data before. That's all. Who have probably done 1 or 2 projects where data-driven solutions were involved. So they should know the relevant libraries in Python. Uh, they should know basic machine learning algorithms and what machine learning is conceptually. So that is what we are looking. And we will try. I'm not going to talk about how or when we'll do the selection process. It's not a big deal. If we find someone who's really done something before, they will be pushed into it. So we don't have a hard rule of selection. It's just that they need to have some amount of experience. That's the only criteria. Okay, a lot of questions. Great, keep it coming. It's almost going to be an hour now. So we have about 5 minutes left. If any final comments, you guys can unmute, no problem. Will a certificate be provided for the LaTeX course? Okay. Yeah, in this case, yes, because it is an exclusive course, and other lateral entry students will also be doing that course along with you guys. So I guess all 80 of you will receive a separate certification for introductory research writing with LaTeX, apart from your project completion. Okay.
I had a doubt actually.
Sure.
For the neutrino theory group, will the mathematics be somewhere around graduate level mathematics or fairly undergraduate? Like, just wanted
No,
an
we
idea.
have to start undergrad level. We have to start at the undergrad level. But see, the point is, you can vary your contribution depending on where you are. I think that's what Vikrant is talking about. So because you're in a team with really diverse people, some of you can work on the advanced topic. Some of you can teach the other people. Some of you can pick a harder problem. So this is what I meant when I said curriculum is extremely flexible. The resources we've had start from scratch, but there is no hard rule that you have to follow only those resources. If you've already finished them, great, pick a difficult problem, right? And we'll try to get mentors as much as possible from our side to support you.
Yeah. Will there be any kind of mentor assessing our topics, like what can be in our scope and what will be like above the scope or something of that kind?
Yeah. We have 1 or 2 mentors in the neutrino group who will be joining us later at the end of first week. So you try to keep preparing, defining your problem, making it a little bit more specific, and then they'll be able to help you. That's the best way.
Sure.
But it's flexible. It's a free, open space for you to experiment. It's okay if you know the basics, pick something harder.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this is a good question. Are only electromagnetic group members eligible for the data-driven project? Now, I think we have a total capacity of, say, 10 people. Then we are willing to select a few from the neutrino group who have, and it's also because the strength in the neutrino group is very high. I think there are 40 people, maybe 35, something like that. So if there is someone really who's done ML before from the neutrino group, we are willing to select them. How much time should we spend on the LaTeX course? As it comes, we have about 3 hours of practice plus this thing. So it's not about just learning, right? LaTeX is more like doing, you're writing, you're learning how to use a software. So there are a couple of recorded sessions that you can use to get started, and then we'll be leading you through live lectures where you'll learn to document your work. So it's not exclusive from your weekly documentation. Should not take you more than 2 hours. Okay. Oh, thank you, Shivalik. Thank you so much. Okay, so coming to research paper, guys, this is a 5-week course, and I've made it very clear that this program it's not called summer research projects, it's called summer projects, right? It's called Solstice summer projects. And the reason is we are giving you an experience of how research works. Nobody does research in 5 weeks. Nobody. And the solar physics team most probably will be extending their project by a couple of weeks. That's probably what will happen. The one that Naxxatra is directly involved with, it is more to give you an initial glimpse. Now, having said that, there are a lot of people in the past who have taken it forward. So out of 80 of you, there might be 15 of you who really want to take up the research, right? So after 5 weeks, you come back to us and you tell us that you want to sustain the research group. Then we are okay with supporting you till a point where you're able to publish some work. So that can be done. Okay, you can't finish writing a research paper in 5 weeks, but if interested, you can extend your stay and continue your work with the group. Mentors, it's a tentative list, guys. So first of all, particle physics, we have Ridhanand. He has a master's in particle physics from the University of Sussex in London. So he will be, England. He will be coming in by perhaps the end of week 1, week 2. We are also, there is one more person who is Rishabh from Indian Institute of Science. Unfortunately, he has some commitments, but if he's able to make it, that will be great. He's doing his PhD in particle physics as well. Okay, and then on this team, other than Rakesh sir, we have Dr. Rabai, who is a professor of physics at St. Joseph's College in Bangalore. And he'll be coming in for 1 or 2 sessions for the gamma ray theory group. And he did his doctorate from, I think he did PhD in RRI, Raman Research Institute. So Rabbi sir will also be there. Oh, cool, Shivalik. Okay. You're from St. Joseph's, I guess. Oh man, I just hope I've answered all the questions. Groups will be formed. Okay, so we'll come to the definition later. Right now, that you don't have to worry about it. There is something called cohorts that we'll divide you into by the end of week 1, not week 0. Week 0, week 1. At the end of week 1, we divide you into cohorts. Till then, the groups are randomized. But yeah, after that cohort is your choice, which cohort you want to be in.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, hi, Naxxatra. Sita, my question is, what do you mean by cohort? Means, can you explain this?
Okay, let me explain the hierarchy. I'll go from bottom up. Okay, there are buddy groups. Buddy groups are small, 3 to 5 people in a buddy group. Okay, these are people who will work closely together on a very specific problem. Now, a lot of buddy groups will come together to form a cohort. A cohort is someone who works on something a little bit broader, like theory. So under neutrino, you'll have a theory group, which is the first cohort, and then you'll have an experimental group, which is the second cohort. Okay, so the cohorts are divided into the buddy group. Now, both these cohorts put together is the neutrino team or the neutrino group. Okay, so there is buddy group, cohort, and then the subject group or subject team. So that is the hierarchy. Okay. Yeah, the division will happen after week 2. We didn't want to mention it today because it might be confusing, but it will be easy on the Discord server. You won't have to worry. There'll be a lot of conference rooms. You guys can chat. You can meet your buddy groups and so on. Just to make it clear again, if you pick experimentation, for example, you will be in the experimental group cohort. That's what it means. How neutrino group people can take part in solar project? It's a good question. What we'll do is we are having so that the form that is there that Hardik mentioned, we will put it inside the neutrino group LMS as well. So by tomorrow, you should see it on your LMS. Okay, even if you open your course, your neutrino course, you should be able to find the I think general info. So all of you fill general info. All 80 of you, please fill general info. Partly it will be based on that. Secondly, there'll be 1 or 2 days dedicated to Python and pandas. So people who come forward and present or teach Python or teach pandas will have a preference, or maybe they teach matplotlib. Sunday is supposed to be day off, but maybe we'll use it again for such an interactive session. And such people who do that are will also be there. And finally, people who fill the form will probably pick 20 people to talk to personally, and then make the decision. I know it's a long process. By the end of the week, we should have figured it out. But neutrino group, don't worry. As long as you fill the same form, it will be on your LMS. You will also get a shot at it. Okay. But remember, it's a total of 10 people, which means only 5 from neutrino and about 5 from gamma rays can be selected. So, yeah. Okay, I think I spoke about the mentor group, mentor list already, but it's a tentative list. There are people adding to it. Some people are, leaving to. So you have to understand that these are scientists and professors. So their schedule is what is dependent on. Okay. Phew. Okay, we covered a lot of questions. Yes, of course, Atul. The Discord server is open for you. The project channels themselves will be open, especially for, like I mentioned, 15 to 20 people usually take it forward as a research project. Okay, you know what? A good idea, Sagar. Can you open your gravitational wave paper from the LaTeX and quickly share if you're on your system?
Share my.
Okay, we'll just give it. Yeah, so just for some context, like I said, there have been people who worked on really diverse things. Some people did open source contributions last year to Python library called Einstein Py. Therefore, they became like co-authors for the library documentation paper. And then there were some people who recently worked on gravitational waves. As you can see, they wrote just a review paper. It's more of an article, but the point is, you can come up with such work, right? The presentation matters a lot. So this is about a 40-page article that this group have come up with, and they have produced this over a period of a month and a half or two. So this is something you all can put together as well once you've learned a little bit of LaTeX.
And the whole paper was done using LaTeX software.
Yeah.
And here is our teacher for LaTeX, and is an amazing LaTeX teacher, our academic head also.
Yeah, so it's all about how you classify the papers. One last thing is, guys, a lot of you are going to be picked as leaders, and that's not a selection process. It depends on your initiative, and it's going to pay off. You're going to lead a group of people to write something like this. So please take the initiative. Those of you who have a little bit of time on your hands, you can put the group together. You can assign roles. You can assign topics, and you can, yeah, this is something that will really add value to your journey as you begin to understand research. So yeah, I think here there are, what is it, 10 colleges, is it, Sagar?
Yeah, people like 14 people from 10 colleges also.
Yeah, 14 people co-authored this review article, review paper from 10 different colleges. So okay, so we expect some good articles, documentation, videos, or presentations. It can be in any format. We just expect some really creative output from all of you, because it's such an awesome crowd this time. We can end if there is no other.
Sitar, I messaged you on GPay as well. Just
Oh yeah, that failed, by the way. I tried twice. I'll just
oh,
DM you. I don't know what's
okay,
wrong.
okay,
Yeah,
all
I
right.
tried. Okay, anyone else? Oh, Sagar, why don't you? I think so. We are basically looking out to put it into a conference, perhaps. But he can share the PDF or link with you guys. Um, it will also eventually go up on our blog. If you can go to blog.naxxatra.com. There are some other articles that people have written. That's also a format you can pick. Okay, so if you don't want to do heavy, like intensive research or technical writing, we encourage a lot of the smaller groups to focus on these these blog format articles, and it's great. You can communicate your understanding to the world. uh, so yeah, you can try checking out that. Okay, so we can obviously take the conversation forward on Discord. Is Naxxatra open to expand its team to getting support from participants, so more such projects and programs can be raised frequently? Akash, yes. If you look at our academic team, all of them are people exactly like you who were students and who have taken the initiative to be part of the core team. Um, so if more participants come up, especially those of you who have done who are doing masters, please get in touch. We could really use your help, right? And if you're already doing your graduate studies, you can help us design some of the projects. Please remember that it is a student run organization till now, and the mental health we get is very it is very dependent. So those of you who are in the graduate level, please do approach us. You can really help out in terms of content ideas and so on. And we can also increase the number of options and research topics that is available for students. Oh yeah, last thing is at the end of the month, maybe 1-2 of you will be selected for being part of the academic team, and we come up with a lot of cool stuff. Like maybe some of you played our scientific treasure hunt. So we like building educational tools and scientific content. So some of you who want to join the team as part of an internship, we can formally select 1 or 2 of you by the end of the program. So we look forward to that as well. And yeah, Sagnik, you will have to enroll for LaTeX after 2 weeks. It will be free for you. We'll probably give you an enrollment key, and you have to enroll for that. You don't have to do it now. And because the course begins only on 12th of June. Okay. All right. So we'll take the discussion forward on Discord. We'll see you on the launch channel on the server. Any questions, anything else you guys have, please put it there. And yeah, join both the servers because both of them serve different purposes. So please join both, and it'll be fun to work with you guys. And one last thing is take initiative. None of this is going to come automatically. None of this is taught to you. None of this is spoon fed. So please take initiative and responsibility for what you want to learn and what your group wants to learn and achieve by the end of 6 months. Okay, thank you all for listening. I know it was kind of like a long session, but we'll have 1 hour sessions from tomorrow. And hopefully it will be a mixture of different stuff, discussions and presentations. So it should be pretty interesting. We'll take all the conversation forward on the common channel on Discord server. Thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow at Neutrino Group at 6:30, and 7:30 we will see the Gamma Ray Group. Thank you and bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for coming. See you all tomorrow.